We've all been there. You're standing in line, or maybe you're at a heated meeting. Worst of all, you're at a family dinner. Someone says something rude, crosses a boundary, or takes credit for your work. Your heart starts to hammer against your ribs like a trapped bird. Your throat feels like you've swallowed a golf ball. And what do? You nod. You polite smile. You say, "Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it." Then, 45 minutes later, you're in the shower or lying in bed, and suddenly, bam, the perfect comeback hits you. You deliver a masterful, soul-crushing monologue to the shampoo bottle. The French call this l'esprit de l'escalier, staircase wit. It's the brilliant thing you should have said while you were still in the room. And why didn't you say it? Why does your brain, which is normally quite capable of forming sentences, suddenly turn into a dial-up modem from 1996 the moment you need to stand your ground? The truth isn't that you're weak or cowardly. The truth is that your brain is trying to protect you from a threat that hasn't existed for 10,000 years. To understand why it's hard to speak up, we have to look at the social safety system. For the vast majority of human history, being agreeable wasn't just a personality trait, it was a survival strategy. If you got kicked out of the tribe because you caused a scene or challenged the wrong person, you didn't just find a new friend group, you died. You were eaten by a saber-toothed cat, or you froze in a ditch. When you feel that surge of anxiety during confrontation, that is your amygdala screaming, "Alert! Social exclusion detected!" Your brain perceives a disagreement as a physical threat to your life. It triggers a freeze response, one of the 4 pillars of the trauma response: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. By staying silent, your brain thinks it's camouflaging you. If you don't move and don't make noise, the predator, the rude coworker, might just move on. You aren't failing to speak. Your biological brakes are slammed to the floor to keep you safe in the tribe. There is a specific version of this called fawning. If freeze is playing dead, fawning is trying to charm the predator so it doesn't bite you. This is where people-pleasing comes from. You don't just stay silent, you actually become extra nice to the person who's offending you. You laugh at their bad joke. You apologize for their mistake. Psychologists refer to this as conditioned over-responsibility. Many of us were raised in environments, whether at home or in school, where being good meant being quiet. We were rewarded for neutralizing conflict and punished for creating it. Over time, your brain creates a neural pathway that equates self-assertion with danger. You've become programmed to believe that the comfort of others is your personal responsibility, even if it comes at the expense of your own dignity. Here's the part that nobody tells you, though. Every time you don't speak up, you aren't actually avoiding conflict. You're just delaying it and adding interest. In organizational psychology, this is called conflict debt. When you don't address a boundary violation today, you're taking out a high-interest loan. The payment comes later in the form of burnout, resentment, or a random emotional explosion over something tiny, like someone using your favorite mug. A study from the University of Michigan found that suppressing your needs doesn't make the negative emotions go away. It just moves them. It creates emotional leakage. Because you didn't stand up for yourself at 2 p.m., you're irritable with your partner at 7 p.m. Your brain is still holding the script for the confrontation that you never had, and it's looking for an exit. By trying to keep the peace externally, you've declared war internally. There's also a personality component at play here. In the Big 5 personality traits, agreeableness is a measure of how much you prioritize social harmony. If you are high in agreeableness, you're empathetic, kind, and excellent at teamwork. But the dark side of high agreeableness is a terrifyingly low tolerance for social friction. To you, a minor disagreement feels like a car crash. Research shows that people who struggle to stand up for themselves often suffer from empathic distress. You aren't just worried about yourself, you're literally feeling the potential awkwardness or hurt of the other person. You're so busy simulating their feelings that you've lost track of your own. You're basically a psychic who only tunes into other people's frequencies, leaving your own station at static. We often stay silent because we're hyper-focused on the short-term cost of speaking up. We think, if I say something, they might get mad, or it will be awkward for 5 minutes. But we almost never calculate the long-term cost of silence. When you don't stand up for yourself, you're training people how to treat you. In behavioral psychology, this is operant conditioning. If someone crosses a line and you say nothing, you've just rewarded them with a green light to do it again. You are literally teaching your environment that your boundaries are optional. The cost of silence is the slow erosion of your self-esteem. Every time you swallow your words, you're telling your subconscious mind, my needs don't matter as much as theirs. Eventually, your brain starts to believe you. You lose trust in yourself. The good news? Standing up for yourself isn't a personality trait that you're born with. It's a regulated nervous system skill. You can't think your way out of the freeze response. You have to train your way out of it. Try the no appetizer. Start small. Practice saying no to things that don't matter. No, you don't want the extra warranty. No, you can't make it to that optional happy hour. Build the muscle memory of the word no when the stakes are 0. Then there's the 5-second pause. When someone asks for something or crosses a line, count to 5 before responding. This breaks the fawn reflex and gives your logical brain time to catch up with your panicked amygdala. And finally, the I statement pivot. Instead of you're being rude, try I'm not comfortable with that tone. It's much harder for someone to argue with how you feel with them than an actual accusation of how they're acting. And then, of course, there's the script rehearsal. Remember that staircase wit? Use it. If you have a recurring conflict with someone, write down your response and say it out loud in the shower. The talking to yourself video was a prequel. Standing up for yourself isn't about being a jerk or winning every argument. It's about being a reliable advocate for your own soul. You wouldn't stand by and watch someone treat your best friend or your pet poorly, so why do you let them do it to you? You're a person worth defending. The truth is that the world doesn't actually want you to be a doormat. It just takes the path of least resistance. When you start creating a little resistance, the world learns to walk around you instead of over you. It's gonna feel itchy. Your heart's going to race. That's just the survival brain doing its job. Thank it for the concern, and then speak anyway. Now, if this helped you understand why your voice sometimes catches in your throat, hit that like button and tell me in the comments what's one boundary that you're gonna set this week. I'll be cheering you on from there. See you in the next video.